Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today we are going to talk about the She Plans 2019 launch. Her line has a couple components to it. We have a monthly planner, we have weekly quarterly planners, we have daily quarterly planners, and I also have her A5s to show you. And then she has an entire printable library also where you can build your own planner if that's what you would rather do. So let's get right into this because we have a lot to cover. I'm very excited to share this with you. She made a huge change to her line this year where she is not having any coil bound or spiral bound planners at all. They are all in quarterly books. And so you can look at this. These are quarterly sewn books. So I want to show you the daily versus the weekly, the thickness of them. So this is the daily, and this is your weekly. So you can see the thickness of those books. They are all sewn. They all have 70-pound paper. We're going to talk about all that. And it's great paper. 70 pounds is also what Simplified has, in case you just want a comparison to a major company. So we're going to get into all that. But first, I'm going to start with the monthly planner book. This monthly planner notebook sold out pretty quick for her last year, I know. It's an item that you can't find with a lot of companies. So to me, it's a unique, rare item. Honestly, there's only two companies that I've reviewed that have something like this, Ashley Shelley and She Plans. And so let's get into this. All her planners are the sewn books, and they are 7x9. Her covers are really beautiful. They feel good in your hand, and they have a kind of a lamination, but not shiny lamination feel. They have a coating. That's a better word. So you can tell if you spill water on this or something, it's not going to go anywhere. Now, she just has this one cover for your monthly planner book. This covers January through December of 2019. This is only your months and some goal setting and note pages. So we're going to go through that. At the beginning of Ashley's planners, she has all these same pages, and we're going to go over them in her weekly or daily book because that's where I kind of have some more information out to talk about them. So we're going to get more into this. It's talking about how to let your priorities create your to-do list and just really how to find more white space in your life for the things that really matter to you. And you know what? I read through all this, you guys, and I've read through a lot of goal planning pages and beginning pages of planners like this. I've read through a lot, but this is one of my favorites. So if you get this planner, make sure you read all these pages. I think they have some really practical advice in here and things that I can even apply to my life that I haven't even maybe thought of looking at it from that angle yet. So I'm really impressed with her advice on those pages. Then you have your year at a glance right here, and that takes 2 pages. She has it labeled by quarters, which I think is nice because she has quarterly books for her other planners. And also that just kind of makes your quarter stand out, you know, and a quarter fits per page. I love the way that works. She has her holidays mapped out below the month here. I actually love how that's done. And so you have your big major holidays listed for every month there right below your month. Then you have a couple of note pages right here. 6 note pages at the beginning of your monthly planner. Then you go straight into your months. Your month is a typical Sunday start layout. She has your holidays on here. Let's get a little bit closer look with gray right in there at the very bottom of the day. I love the fonts that she's used. The page looks very clean and crisp and not busy, not frantic at all, not a lot of stuff you need to fill in. You have a little note section over here and a what's going to make this month special. Let's make memories. I love that. Of course, you can use it for a to-do list if you want to. You have a quote up here at the top of each month. Then you have a view at your next month right here. Then in between each month, you get your 2 big 7x9 note pages, and they're divided into columns. So you have plenty of space here for if you want to use this kind of as journaling for your month, if you want to use it as a to-do list, if you want to use it as a goal tracker or habit tracking in between here. You have those 2 pages in between each month. And just the only thing on them is her really nice little leaf emblem right there. And I love that. I love how clean and crisp her planner is. And I'm really loving the extra style elements that she added in this year. So that's it. You go through every month and it looks exactly the same. You have your in-between month pages and you're going to go all the way until December just following that same pattern. Then when we get to the end, you have a couple more note pages, just 3. Yeah, 3 note pages, and then you're at the end. So you have a note page in between each month, and then you have 3 note pages at the end. You had 7 note pages at the beginning. So I feel like it has ample note pages without making it too thick. If you just need a monthly book to carry around you, this is perfection, you guys. It's 7 by 9. They're not tiny boxes. You're not going to be squeezed in. With there being absolutely no color on the page, I like to assign each month a color, and then you can do what you want with color on that page. If you want to write in all your events in black and absolutely add no color, or if you want to write everything in black and then you want to color code or highlight certain events or use a special colored pen for certain events, with a just clean, crisp black and white page, it leaves it open to be perfect for that type of thing. So that is your monthly planner. This is only $20, you guys, and it lasts you the whole year. I can tell you these books will hold up really well. This is really nice cardstock with a really good coating. I had her quarterly books this year for 2018, and I used them off and on for different things in my planning. And I even would bend her entire book back at some points like this, and her books held up beautifully for me. They absolutely never came apart. I didn't have one problem with them. So this is the She Plans monthly planner. Also, something I forgot to mention is that Ashley from She Plans, the wonderful one-woman show who runs She Plans, she is moving across the country soon. And so she has announced this on her Facebook Lives. There's a big possibility that she won't have any academic planners coming out this year. So because of her move, she wants you guys to be aware that these might be her only planners. There's a good chance for this year, and she won't have any new planners available once these sell out until September of 2019 for your 2020 year. We wanted to make sure that you knew that. And also, she doesn't make an academic monthly planner book anyway. So even if she was able to do academics, once this sells out, that is it. I could not decide if we should go into the weekly or the daily planners next. We're going to do the daily. I keep saying this, but this is such a unique item. I don't know of anywhere else that does a daily planner in quarterly books like this, the 7 by 9 sized. If you guys know, you can let me know. So first, let me show you all the covers. On every planner book, it tells you, if it's your daily planner or your weekly, and then her motto, to create the space to let life happen. And then she tells you it's quarter 1 and what months fall in that quarter, January, February, March. So this is the quarter 1 cover, and the weekly books have these same covers per quarter. So this is your quarter 1. It's like a pink kind of plaid, and I think it's beautiful. I actually love all her covers. This is probably my favorite one. This is quarter 2, April, May, June. And I am just a big fan of green in general. So I think this is definitely my favorite cover of hers. I absolutely love it. Think of spring green. Quarter 3 is a lavender plaid, really pretty. July, August, September is your 3rd quarter right here. And then your 4th quarter is the same leaf design, but in a blue. They're all beautiful colors. And this is quarter 4, of course, October, November, December. So those are your 4 covers, and they will be the same in your weekly planner. So we won't go through those again. This is your daily. Your daily planner is only $46 for the entire year for all 4 books. Okay, those got out of order. So that's your order for all 4 books. It is $46. I want to show you kind of the thickness of those, how that looks right there. And you know what comes with having a quarterly book? They are just really portable. So that's something that if you don't want a big heavy book to tote around, if you're a college student, quarterly books are so portable. If you don't want a big heavy book to tote around, if you are a college student or even a high school student and you feel like you need a daily planner, sometimes that is just too much to fit in a backpack. It's too much. I know. I remember my college days. This is perfection for that, you guys. Just this little quarterly book. And then you get a fresh start every single quarter. So that's another aspect. You get a fresh, new, clean book every single quarter. So it's kind of like you're getting a new planner 4 times a year. And what planner people, don't like that? So she has these same pages in every single one of her books, like I said, and I highly recommend reading them. So she talks about allowing your priorities to create your to-do list, keep your weeks simple and your days meaningful, bring joy and purpose to everyday tasks, and create the space to let life happen. I know we've heard all these mantras and all these sayings before, but she really has some good ideas below these headings and explaining how that fits into someone's real life. So definitely read through those if you get these. Okay, you have your same 6 months at a glance with holidays in here that I just showed you in the monthly book. But so for quarter 1, you're only going to show quarter 1 and quarter 2 in here. For quarter 2, you're going to show quarter 2 and quarter 3. For quarter 3, you're going to show quarter 3 and quarter 4. I'll show you those in those books. So you see what I'm saying? You don't have your whole page in your quarter 1 book, but you have quarter 1 and quarter 2. Her monthly calendar is exactly the same in this book as it is in the monthly book. And did I already say, I don't know if I said this. Yeah, I think I did. They're $46 for your daily planners for the entire year. That is such a deal for a daily planner that has a page per day. She even gives you a full page on Saturday and Sunday, and I will show you that. I absolutely love that. And the way that these books are sewn and that they're quarterly, so they're not too big, you guys, it's so nice to be able to write like this and have absolutely no rings and not be flipping your book. So that's another advantage to these books. Okay, then after your monthly layout, you go into a little January kind of like think about your priorities. So it's what is your number 1 current priority for January and your number 2 current priority for January. And then what are your small steps to make progress on those priorities? And what does success look like for this month? She talks a lot about this in the beginning pages up there. So it will make more sense if you read the beginning. But I think it's a very simple outlook. Doesn't make anything complicated. And it's not even necessarily, you can look at it as goal setting, but I really like to look at it her way. It's a priority. What are my 2 biggest priorities this month? And then what action steps, what are my small steps to make some type of progress on those priorities? I might not reach the end of that priority. I may not finish that task or reach that goal, but what steps am I making to make progress on it for the month? And then what does success look like for this month for me in that priority? So I'm really in love with the way she does that because I don't do a lot of the goal things in planners. I've talked about that before in several videos and for numerous reasons, but this kind of simple, just setting my priority for the month, I can definitely do that. Okay, then she has, after your month, you get your priority page for the month and you get a note page for the month. And at the top of your note page, it says keep your week simple and your days meaningful. Then you get your weekly layout, of which I kind of want to talk about before we get to the pen test. So we're going to get to the pen test, but I really want to just talk about the daily layout. Sorry, not weekly. The daily layout first. Okay, so you get an entire page per day, even weekends, like I talked about that. So look, here's a Saturday and a Sunday, you guys, and it's a full page. It's a full page. You start at 6 a.m. and you go until 8 p.m. So you have 2 lines for every hour. So your half-hour appointments can be divided out. You also have like a header here, but there's also plenty of header space up here for the day if you want to write somebody's birthday or something big that's happening that day, you have like these two header spaces. In my mind, that's how I would use them. And then you have a daily list, and then you have a doodles, notes, jot things down section. So that is how your everyday is laid out. There is not boxes to check off. There's not a lot of anything telling you what to do. It's for you to make of the page what you need it to be. And I personally really like that in my daily planning. All right, so let's look at her, the Genius page. We're going to talk about the pen test next. This is something that is so genius and I'm so excited about because it's something that I always have said daily planners should have. It is a week at a glance before your weeks start in your daily. So in a daily, I feel like it's hard if that's your only planner that you're using to see your week at a glance. You know, in your mind, you can go back and look at your monthly, of course, but you can't write everything on there. And then you're not just looking at that week. And so before every week starts, you have a week at a glance, just a Monday through Sunday, all get equal space. The dates are written, you know, really small up there to not take up your real estate in your boxes for writing. And all right here, you have what energy will you bring to this week? Be intentional, just a reminder. And then what will you make progress on this week? Write it down. So you have a blank space there for that. You have a look at your monthly calendar for that week. So that's really nice. You can highlight the week you're on, circle the week you're on, and you just have your little month at a glance right there. So I would definitely write all my big appointments or to-dos or errands here. So anything that would take my time out of the house or even appointment at the house. And then I could just have a scope of my week right here. And then your days of the week are following that. A page per day. And then you have your next week's layout. Isn't that genius, you guys? What do you think about that? Tell me down in the comments below, because I don't know of a daily planner that has this. Go back to my pen test. She has 70-pound paper, which equates to about 105 GSM if you're looking at a company that's listing GSM and trying to compare it. So 70-pound paper is about 105 GSM. Her paper feels really nice. It's not slick. I don't like slick paper. It has a little bit of a tooth to it, but not a ton. Not a lot of tooth, actually. But it's a really nice feeling paper, and it feels substantial. I honestly can't believe that these books can be sewn. I mean, that's amazing. Per quarter, when the paper is this nice, that you can fit a whole daily in and sew it together. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, here is the back of my pen test page. Before I show you my pen test page and any other information on it, I will just show you the back of it because that's what everybody wants to see. And then you can also see up here when you have a holiday, it is noted right below your date, right there. You can see how the pen test looks. I mean, you can see that there is writing on the page behind you, but it is not like see-through. It is not terrible ghosting at all. And there are so many bright lights shining on this. And I feel like when I'm looking at my page, like right down here, I feel like it's giving me a fresh start. I don't feel like I see a whole jumble of things from yesterday. And on this page, I used Papermate Flare pens, which are often the darkest coming through paper. I used Sharpie pens. I used all colors of Pilot Precise. I used a highlighter. So I used everything. I used an 07, which puts out a ton of ink, a G207. So I wrote down some things I want to make sure to mention to you if I haven't already. The quarterly planner gives you that fresh start every 3 months. The sewn notebooks give you durability and portability. Here are all your prices. Your weekly is $38, your daily is $46, your monthly is $20, and your A5 daily, that the A5 only comes in a daily, is $46. Okay, and to let you know, yes, that it's possible she will not be printing academic years of these planners this year. So when these are gone, that's it until she would launch her 2020 line in September of 2019. All these pens, you can kind of see how the whole page looks like when it's written on. I hope that helps you out to see that. Okay, when you get to the very end of your quarter, You're just gonna have one note page on the back right there, and then that's it. That's your quarter one. Okay, I promised we would come back and look at this about how your next 6 months at a glance looks in your quarterly. So, and when you go to quarter two, you have quarter two and quarter three. When you go to quarter three, you have quarter three and quarter four up there, of course. And then when you go to quarter four, you get quarter four and you get quarter one of 2020. So she is not leaving anything out to help you with your planning. You can write your doctor's appointments, your dentist appointments, whatever appointments you need to write in here or reminders. You have like a pre-planning page with you ahead. Okay, we are going to look at her weekly. Okay, before we jump into the weekly, I wanted to give you one more look just at the thickness. This is your weekly down here on the bottom, and this is your daily up here on the top. So that is how they look. You can see the thickness is definitely different in the weekly and the daily, but I still feel like, I mean, the daily is still so portable for you to carry around in a backpack or a bag or a tote bag or even a purse. Okay, we're going to get into the weekly planner now, and it is a vertical layout, and you have the same 4 covers, so we don't need to go through the covers, but let's look at it in the green book in quarter two just for fun, because I don't think I wrote anything in there. We already did a pen test, and it's all the same paper. Okay, so you have your same worksheets in the front, or I wouldn't call them worksheets, but kind of worksheets, yes. In the front, bring joy and purpose to everyday tasks. The same ones are in every book. And then you have your 6 months at a glance, quarter two and quarter three, because this is quarter two book right here. Then you have actually 8 note pages. I counted them in the front of your weekly. So you get a few more note pages just because it's a weekly and there's not so many pages in there like the daily. Your calendar layout is the same right here. And you have a quote on every month. I already mentioned that. Here is your weekly layout. It is a vertical layout. You have your whole date written up at the top of every day, like Thursday, April 4th. You go from Monday, it's a Monday start to Sunday. And like I mentioned, her calendars are a typical Sunday start. And then your week is a typical Monday start. And then over here you have the same, what energy will you bring to this week? What's going to make this week special? Let's make memories. Then you have your next, you have the month you're on, and then your next month. Look at your month at a glance. Now, your weekly layout actually is 4 pages. The first 2-page spread is just your whole week. 7 columns. They are all equal in size. Then this goes to your week also. It's a 4-page layout. She tells you the date, April 1 through 7. What will you make progress on this week? Write it down. Let's make it a habit. And there is room for 5 habits right here to track for your week. And then doodle, take notes, and jot things down. And then keep your week simple and your days meaningful. A big space for a to-do list or whatever you want to use those 2 columns for every single week. That is something that I really like about She Plans, is she gives you plenty of note-taking room in her weekly and in her daily. So that is what your spread looks like after your week. You have this page, this 2-page spread after every single week. Go back to your week. Your week is divided kind of into 3 bigger chunks, and then you have a tiny header chunk up here. It's just with a little bit darker lines. So it's not like it's divided. You could use it, all together, but it's divided by a little bit darker line in case you want to divide your week up into chunks like that. So you have your biggest chunk right here, and then your next biggest, and then your next biggest. And you also have this box at the bottom. You have a header up here, so you could be writing your weather up here every day. You could be writing if it's somebody's birthday. You could use that for anything you want. You also have a space for a header here. That could also be for weather or somebody's birthday or a workout. Here could be like your top 2 priorities for the day, I feel like. But there's really so many ways you can use this. Nothing is labeled. Nothing is laid out telling you how to use it. And I absolutely love that. It is clean and open to your interpretation for however you need to use these divided segments per day. You could even use this space to number out your hours of the day if you needed to do that on each side, because there is a little bit of room to be able to do that on the margin if you needed to have your hours in there. That is your weekly layout for She Plans. So every week is a 4-page spread, and your weekly planner is only $38 for the whole year. And you are getting a 4-page spread per week. I feel like that's a really amazing value. When your quarter is up, you have a couple note pages at the end right here, 4 note pages, and then that's the end of your quarter 2, and then you would get a fresh book. So basically, every time you're getting a fresh book, you're also reevaluating your priorities. You can come up here and you can reevaluate your priorities, which I think is a smart thing to do 4 times a year. I'm one that doesn't believe in making these big, huge goals in January. I'm not big into that, and then somehow they just get lost along the way, and I'm into making smaller priorities every month. It's kind of just already been what I do naturally in my life. So the way this book flows just makes sense to me. So those are your 4 weekly quarters and your vertical spread. I do just want to show real quick that she also has an A5 available. It comes with tabs for only $46. So you get your package of tabs. Every package is wrapped per quarter just like this. So it's so nice. If you don't want to put it all in your planner at first, you can just keep it safe tucked away in these packages for when you need to grab that month for that quarter. So this is April, May, June. This is July, August, September. And then I have October, November, December stuck in a planner here. I will show you. And here are all your beautiful tabs. January is kind of that mauve. So here's the front. And then the back, I'll just flip through them. February is a light peach. March is a golden orangey color, kind of a lime green yellow. May is a really pretty green, and June a little bit darker. July, August, September, October, November, and December, and then an extras tabs. These are laminated tabs, really nice cardstock paper, very good tabs that are going to hold up. And that comes with your planner set. You do not have to buy that separately. So her A5 daily planner is the exact same page layout. You get the exact same information. It's just in an A5 right here. It's fit to go on the A5 page, but it's the same information. You get your same year at a glance, and then you get a little page that says January. You get your January calendar layout right here. Now, there is no room on the A5 to have your next month at a glance, so that is not on here. And you have your January set your priorities. You have that for every month. And then your notes for that month is your same daily layout. Your week at a glance is right here. And then your day right here, page per day, Saturday and Sunday also. So this is the exact same layout as the daily planner sewn book. And like I said, the packages are divided into quarters. I will show you, I happen to have this file of facts that somebody so generously sent to me because they didn't want it anymore, just in case I needed it for anything. And so I threw these A5s in here just to kind of show you how it looks in a planner. This is just 1 quarter. So it's really up to you how much you keep in your planner. You could put 2 quarters in. You could put it all in to start. And as you finish a quarter, you could take it out. I actually don't think all 4 quarters of a daily will actually fit in this certain file of facts that I have. You'd probably have to have a bigger one. I think 2 quarters would comfortably fit in this one. And then as you use the pages, you can take them out, like take a whole quarter out and add your next section in. And so that is how this daily planner looks stuck in a file of facts. At the end of the year, this is your end of the year, you just have 1 note page and that's it. So of course you could buy some other A5 insert note pages, or she sells printables and actually some really great instructions on how to print them. And you could actually add some note pages in that way if you needed extra note pages. I think I have gone through everything. I'm just so excited to share this line with you. Ashley at She Plans took a huge leap to change her planners to what she loved. She was using her quarterly weekly books last year that she had, her quarterly sewn books, and realized how much she loved that. And I think that was a big influence in her taking a jump to this very portable planner where you get a fresh start every 3 months. I am a big fan of her work, and I'm just glad I could introduce this to you. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Happy planning, you guys. We'll see you next time.